Spud the God just coming all the way from Western Australia to make a showing here, and it is paid off in spades. He finds some of the most, ingenious and creative combos that Mark does.
Spud freaking get it, man!
Oh my goodness.
From Australia to make that 3-0 on Spud!
What is this guy doing? This man is insane!
But he's got him off, and that's it!
3-0 for Spud! Oh! Again, Spud! What are you gonna do? Are you gonna DI? Guess what? That's a dare, bro! That's a dare spy!
My name is Teta Hikali, my gamer tag is Spud, and I play Super Smash Bros. Melee for Darksided. So the first time I discovered competitive Melee was when I used to actually play Young Link as a casual, and I went to look up some professional Young Link play, and I ended up finding Armada versus Hungrybox. And that set is considered to be one of the slowest sets of all time, but because Melee is such a fast game at a competitive level, when I first saw it, I thought it was some of the fastest looking movement I've ever seen, ironically enough. So I started playing the game when I was in high school. I also used to live in the country called the Cook Islands, so there really wasn't much to do on that island. So when I started playing competitively, I was coming home from school, doing the little homework I did, or not doing homework at all, and just playing the game from till I got home till when I had to go to sleep. I rinse and repeat for months, just playing the game and trying to get better. I played Ma because I saw the Ken combo, and I was like, man, that is the sickest combo I've ever seen. And I was obsessed with the character, but we played a version of the game where the combo didn't work in, so that also made me really sad, and we only recently switched like a couple of years ago, so it's been a while. So my set with Alex 19 would be considered my biggest breakout performance. He was ranked top 100 at the time. He was also Mango and Lucky's training partner. So we had quite a fair few internationals that we flew down to Oz for BAM 7, just because the skill gap was gigantic between us and the Americans, so we wanted to play them to get better, and just as an opportunity. So I went into that tournament, not even expecting to make it out of pools, because an NZ player had never made it out of pools at an Aussie major. Ended up making a huge run, upsetting a whole bunch of Australian players, and then taking a very close Game 5 set off of Alex 19, which was my star breakout performance. So my first tournament in the US was the Big House 6, which I had GoFunded myself over to. I didn't do very well at that tournament. I wasn't prepared for how good the average American player was going to be. I think I ended up getting 97th. I was pretty cut up about that. So that wasn't a very good performance for me. But I went to the US again 2 months later after having practiced a bit, and I went to Don't Park on the Grass back in 2016 and ended up getting 17th at that tournament, beating Rudolph, who was the best player in Japan at the time. He was also ranked top 100, and I beat Iceman wasn't ranked back then. I beat Mike Hayes as well, who was top 30 at the time. So those were pretty big wins for me after end of the year in 2016, and then it was satisfying being able to perform well after underperforming so badly at the previous event I went to. The most significant trip I've had to the US was the most recent one I've done, where I won a regional as an unranked player, which had 3 or 4 ranked players that I had to beat to win it, and one of them was top 20. So that was the first time I'd ever won a tournament in the US, and it was big because I beat a whole bunch of ranked players. And then in that same week, or same trip, I went to Don't Park on the Grass, the Seattle major, and I beat another two or three top 100 players, with one of them being top 11th in the world, which is SFAT, and I made top 8 at that major.
What's up everyone, I'm Zach, aka SFAT. I play for Counterlogic Gaming. Thoughts on Spud as a player? The dude's crazy. He reminds me a lot of Armada and PP, in the sense that a lot of people think that if you don't have a lot of good players around, that you can't become a good player. But just like Armada and PP have shown, you don't need good players around, right? As long as you work on your punish game, if you have a strong punish game, that can carry you really far, right? I think there's a lot of exciting things that are gonna happen in 2019, especially with Spud as a big contender now.
So I've been trying to get ranked for a little while now, but it's very difficult being living in Perth because you have to go to American majors to be able to qualify, in which case you do have to beat very good players and get to a certain point of bracket to even be considered. So I was very happy because I beat about 6 really good players, 6 top 50 players on my recent trip to the US. That managed to land me a ranking in top 50, which is more than I ever thought I'd get. I was just trying to get top 100 and ended up getting top 50 because of that.
Always stoked to be heading to FGC events with Spud. All-round great guy, super chill, and absolutely has earned his title as the best melee player in Australia. He's proved it from time and time again from all the events here, but every time he attends an international event, he's always taking sets off some of the biggest names in the game. I'm always going to be proud of his achievements, and I'm absolutely proud to have him on the team at Darksided. Can't wait to see how far he can take his passion for this game.
Shout outs to Darksided for having me on as a player for I think about 2 years now. And shout outs to Aiden for flying me out to all these American events. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to do as well or improve as much as I have recently.